Hello students, welcome to the second week of Comps 220 online. We've got a great week planned for you guys. Remember, if you haven't done so already, please print out the course schedule. You can see I went on and printed mine out and wrote down dates that were important, when things were due, and then when of course I need to have them graded by. Please make sure that you do this. It will help you in the long run. As I look ahead for this week, I see chapters 3 and chapters 5 will be due from the main book, Writing for the Mass Media. And if you open that up and look at it, chapter 3 has a lot of information in it, style in the style book. These things are going to be new concepts, new ideas to most of you. So I really encourage you, take some good notes as you read through. Highlight information. Accuracy, of course, is very important, and when you talk about journalistic style, that's one of the main ideas. Accuracy above all else. On page 35 it says, the chief goal of any writer for the mass media is accuracy. So clearly that is very important. The second part of chapter 3, though, is about this other textbook you have, the Associated Press Stylebook. And you might have a version that looks like either one of these. If yours doesn't look like this, but it is the Associated Press Stylebook, you're still fine. There's several different versions out there. You want to just make sure, again, Associated Press Stylebook is what we're looking for. Now, this is very different. There's no MLA, there's no APA, there's no Turabian in this class. We are learning media style writing, and rules for that are found here in the Associated Press Stylebook. It is incumbent upon you, the distance learning student, to learn this information by yourself. I mean, I spend a lot of time in my residential class going over this, and we practice. And so I would suggest doing some of the practice homework assignments at the end of the chapter. This is a book of rules to help you put writing in a form that is very simple and very easily understood. And you want to use this book of rules when you're writing stories that people will read, like for a newspaper, for a news organization that has a website, for blogs, for press releases. This is also very important. So when you have information, you're formatting it in a way that people will read that information, read that story. From a media standpoint, the Associated Press Stylebook is the Bible of rules. And we have these rules so that we have consistency in our writing. So one student out there, you're not writing, today's date, March 23rd, 2012, in a different fashion than another student is. So for example, for that date, if you look up in the style book months, or in the D section dates, it will tell you, there's a handful of months that it is appropriate to abbreviate, but only when they're paired with a specific date. March is not one of those months. Don't ever abbreviate March. So March 23rd would be written March 23. No year is needed unless it's a past year or a year in the future. So just March 23rd. No RD, okay? No little, ST for the first. It's just March and then 2-3. And again, this kind of information is what you'll find in this book of rules. Rules for consistency in writing. So I am begging you with this video, please make sure that you are reading the information in the textbook, also understanding the style book, and I would really encourage you to take some time at the end of chapter 3 and do some of the homework exercises. You'll be graded in your news writing project and your press release on your use of the style book rules. And so if you write a date like March 23rd and you have that RD on the end, that's incorrect. The rules say don't use that. And so you would receive a point off for a mistake of that nature. So make sure you study the rules, you know how to use the style book, you have this to use so you don't have to memorize the rules. So please do use it in that fashion. Anything else that you have this week? Let's see here, getting back to the schedule. You also need to take the first test. So make sure that you restudy chapters 1 and 2, chapters 4, and then chapters 3 and 5 for your first test. The last item for your homework this week is to reply to a discussion board that one of your classmates wrote. And I think we have great content for our discussion boards, and meaningful conversation can take place. So let's really try and cultivate that and encourage that. As always, be friendly, be respectful, but disagree. If you have an opinion or a thought or idea that's different from someone else's, in a respectful manner, tell them so. And I think that will help us as a class bring us together as well. So that's a little bit of what I have for you this week. I'm Mrs. Amy Bonebright. I'm your teacher, and I look forward to the rest of our time here together in Comms 220. Thanks. Have a great week.